Well, folks, you are all certainly welcome back. Let us know if you can hear me first of all. There was a bit of a problem with the volume a few minutes ago when I was doing the upload and the normal post match reaction. What can you say? What can you say? Some of us go in quite confident into these games and expecting Celtic to respond after getting beaten in the League Cup to them away in that stadium. And then some people go in, skeptic, change of personnel at the back. And to be fair play to the ones that called it out before the game started, you were right about Phillips. An absolute bomb scare. Some people are calling him Shane Duffy 2.0. And I know that's just no disrespect to Shane, but I felt like there was Shane Duffy spells today in that game. Oh my God. We were just absolutely brutal. First half of the game, we got stuck in. And you know what? We should have killed Kilmarnock off. We should have been 2 or 3 nil up at half time. We had our chances. They had their chances as well. They hit the post. They hit the crossbar, whatever you want to say. Armstrong did. They had a chance cleared off the line as well, and it's just were brutal, absolutely brutal. And I know people are saying you don't lose leagues in December, but when you go back to at the end of the season, you look at the points you drop to St Johnson, to Motherwell, to Hibs away. I know Hibs is a difficult place to go. Games like that, and we just don't have that winning form yet. We don't have that stoppage time winner vibe in us. And I'll be honest, that's what's killing us as well this season. And you think for Brendan being around long enough, you know what to suss it out. There's not enough. As much as I said it today, looking at that starting lineup, just go. I want to look at the bench. I know me made the personnel changes. Yang came on, Forrest came on, and stuff, but there's not enough quality in that bench, folks. And I just feel like the board are a big blame to this. The league is not lost, folks. We're still 5 points clear. Rangers have a game in hand, and then the players at Celtic Park. They've seen us dropping points at Celtic Park already to St Johnston and to Motherwell, and I think they'll fancy their chances as much as they won't have any fans in the stadium. Hasn't been confirmed yet, but more likely it will be no fans in the stadium. They'll fancy their chances. And I know you might think I'm a bit negative, I'm a bit over the top. We lost today. It's 3 big points, folks. Every game away from home or Celtic Park, you have to win these games. And fair play to Kilmarnock. They were organised. They took the game to Celtic. They deserve the win. They came out all guns blazing, corner upon corner against us. So I'm going to go through the comments. I'll have me rant. I'll say it as it is. If people don't like it, they don't like it. They can ask me Swiss roll and go somewhere else and look at another podcast. Absolutely pathetic. A worst performance this season. The team showed no desire to push on for the second half. Up and coming the next Glasgow derby must be a win. Kilmarnock deserve to win. You summed it up in one, bud. Summed it up in one. I think I need to go on these cans of Moretti today. I gotta have to sort of something. I'm having a nervous breakdown. This is what happens. I can take losing to a team. I give the respect to Derek McInnes' team and Kilmarnock. They were a much better side. But it's our response. We should have known this from the game we played them in the League Cup. It's very, very. It was like a replica performance. The only difference is we scored today. The only difference. And to be honest, actually, it wasn't replica performance. Kilmarnock were actually much better, more organised. Really got stuck in. Like Callum McGregor looks like he was struggling with an injury. He should have just came off, bring Turnbull on, changed it around. And then Rogers tried to go 4-4-2. Bit too late for that one there. And Big Dom, sorry you didn't get to read this out. Lost for Woods, second half. But Brendan seemed to calm in his post-match interviews. No sign of anger. No sign of anger. Well, he should be angry. He should be concerned since he is a Celtic fan. He's came back, for redemption to show the fans that he wants to win the league and let's forget about the past and build to the future. And performances like that today, that's a scratch in the neck. It really is. It really is. Stephen, I would agree with you. We've had our differences over the years, and you know what? I would agree with you on this. Hart is done. Joe Hart is done. Love the guy, but my God, we need a new goalkeeper. Phillips, as people have labelled him, Shane Duffy 2.0. I like Shane Duffy. Been a warrior for the Republic of Ireland. I thought he got bad treatment that COVID season, but my God, he's worse than Shane Duffy. He is worse than Shane Duffy. F.A. Ambrose done a better job than Nat Phillips. F.A. Ambrose actually won leagues. So, yeah. Yang. Who is Yang? What? Who is Yang? Like, Yang has had one good performance in a Celtic shirt, and that was against Aberdeen. One performance. Our recruitment strategy for these K League, J League, these players, the other are very hit and miss. Quan comes in, and where's Quan? Where is Quan? Absolute duds. David, nice of you to join in as well. By the way, there's a 34 people watching it now at the moment. I really appreciate you watching. If you do want to join the membership of 99 pence, all means, if you can support me another level, it will be daily. If you don't have the money close to Christmas, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. There's worse things to worry about in life, you know. Just be happy. Just be happy. We have a glorious club and we'll bounce back, you know. Could be worse, could be second, could be winning games just by penalties. Second half wasn't good enough for Celtic Football Club. I can't just put this into words how bad the second half is. Worse than the St Johnstone game. Can't imagine what to expect on Wednesday. I don't want to sound like really negative when I say this, folks, but I don't really care about Wednesday. It doesn't. I'm not even bothered about watching the game on Wednesday. It's a game that we've nothing to actually go for. What a Champions League win, bit of prize money. That's about it. You know, I'd be rotating that squad on Wednesday. I'd be bringing Naroski back in. See Phillips back down to Anfield, mate. Back down to Anfield. We'll all set up a GoFundMe page and get you in a taxi back down there. You know, you were absolutely shocking. Absolutely shocking. You see him like literally about 60 minutes of the game. He tries to do a Cruyff turn with the ball. He got away with once in the San Siro for Liverpool. He thinks that the Scottish League is a stroll in the park. Get down, back down to Anfield. You know, it all comes down to the Board's poor summer recruitment for me. Correct. Ange left. The writing was on the wall. You know, like this is a board that are happily marketing stunt Celtic by bringing out 5 jerseys a season, bringing out different agenda jerseys, and yes, some parts of the Celtic community are delighted with that, and you know it's more merch, but it's more money for the club. But we're not seeing this money being put in to the most important thing, which a biggest asset is the team. The team brings success, and we're not seeing this money being put into the team. You got the likes of Kitty Poi or Chris Boyd saying Celtic did invest the money in the summer. We invested the money in duds, players that don't have experience in Europe, majority of them. So shocking, shocking today. It's not even today. It's been a build up of sequences. You know, St Johnston felt like a loss back in August. Motherwell felt like a loss. When you drop points, when you draw, it feels like a defeat because you always want results. It's a results business. We're the champions of Scotland for a reason, not to be dropping points against these teams. As I said, no disrespect to Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock deserve to win today. There's no if anyone comes on and says, we deserved it, you're sniffing glue. You're talking pony because Celtic were atrocious from back to front. Greg Taylor needs to be dropped. We really do need a left back. That guy was terrible today. And I've given the praise to Greg Taylor over the years. He has proven he deserved the contract when Ange came in. He's worked hard, one of the most improved players I've seen in a Celtic shirt in a long time. Him and Ralston were really approved under Ange, but it's a different manager. And Greg Taylor's played every game this season. Like, come on, time to actually let this guy be dropped. Give Berda Bay a run. I know a lot of people have the jury on Berda Bay, but come on, there must be players that are fighting for that short in training. How's it going, Mick? Hope you're well. Besides the result, shocking today. Other draws, win, lose, or draw. That's it. We'll come back. We'll come back. I know I feel like I'm a bit over dramatic at the moment, but you got to look at the bigger perspective here, folks. It's not just today's performance. We've been very, very average this season. Like as I said in my post-match reaction, the earlier video, the only reason we're top of the league is because we beat Rangers, and you've dropped points to other teams as well. You know, both teams in Glasgow being quite average this season. Terrible standard of football, to be honest. terrible standard. How was that? I don't know. I don't know what that was. I try to keep up with this. I'm on a pure Ronnie rant. it, we appear to have redressed under Rodgers, and we'll not be able to under Ange. That's it. Well, the only positive things in the days to come is Abada is back soon. Moyeda is back soon. Kyogo, I don't know. Someone needs to shake this guy's head. Obviously, he might play a bit better when the likes of Kyogo comes back. Or not Kyogo. Rio Atate eventually comes back, and Moyeda and Abada, he might play a bit better. But for the time being, there is warning signs there, folks, that will throw this league away. It might be different. We might say different on the 30th of December. We might beat them and feel like our heads are up. But for the time being, let's get through every game. And we have Feyenoord on Wednesday, which I don't really care about, to be honest with you. It's a empty talk game in my eyes. It's a Champions League game. Lots of fans are not bothered even going because it's so close to Christmas. We're not going to get into Europa League. We're not playing for Champions League groups, knockout stage football. It's a dud game to me. As much as we love the club, as much as we want to see us win, I don't really care. I care about the bread and butter, which is the league. And today was a stumbling block. As you always say, when you get knocked down, you have to come back up stronger. And hopefully we will come back up stronger. We've been knocked down a couple of times this season, and the signs are there that we're going to struggle to win this league if we don't get it together. No more draws. It's a must win. A draw feels like a defeat, doesn't it, Celtic guy? I know today was a defeat. The board put us in this position. Of course they have. Of course they have. They're not investing the money into the squad. No, they're not willing to go out and break the odds and Edward fee. They're not willing. That's the lack of ambition. As a business deal, we're making money so much and TV revenue, season books being up. If they don't get their act together, it'll go back to the Ronnie Doyle days where them stands will, the top stands will have the border again of them, the sheets over the seats. Like, I don't want to feel like I'm over dramatic. We're still top of the league, but in my heart, I don't feel like we're top of the league. The football hasn't been comprehensive this season, folks. It's been very hot and cold. Very hot and cold. Very bipolar football, if you want to label it that way, folks. Rocky not good enough for the squad for Europe. We're out of Europe anyway. Don't be worrying about Europe. Europe is next season's. Well, Europe is actually starts now in January when you start getting a bit of class in. And class is like, I'm talking about a 6-7 million player, not this 4 million bracket. Go out and spend a little bit more. What you invest into something will pay back. So hopefully you get a bit of results. Worst performance of the season, bollocks. It's time to get. It's a kick in the hole that's needed. A good old Bishop Brennan, Utah, innit? It's definitely a Bishop Brennan required. Let me have a sup of my orange juice before I'm making an 8 mile rap battle. Drug on dry lips. Me Nakamura, I won't be wearing this jersey again anyway. Let's scroll through the comments. Good. Look, a fair play is all popping in. If you can't subscribe, please do subscribe, free of charge. If you want to do another level and buy the membership for 99 pence, go ahead. Bob's your uncle, Mary's your auntie. So Ralph Douglas says, how much has this team went backwards since last season? I'd say about 3 steps backwards, man. From the goalkeeping to the defence, he's trying to play two fullbacks, which they're not. It's not working. He's trying to push them as like wing backs, and they're not getting used to that style of play. It's just not working. From the midfield, we played a captain, which he's played there for the last 2 years, given the respect as a number 6. But we all know inside out, we've been saying it even last season when Andrew's in charge, Callum is more productive, more attacking. And in regards to our forwards, it doesn't even feel like we have a forwards. We don't have forwards. They're not clinical. They're very hot and cold. Like Kyogo hasn't scored in 9 games. 9 games, folks. That's just says everything. Generally think this could be the shock that the board needs. No. The only way that board's gonna wake up if we lose to them on the 30th of January. I think that board is still sleeping. They're sitting there in a pina coladas in Dubai watching Celtic lose and the Pistons are rain in Kilmarnock. That's, to be honest with you, that's how I feel about it. Hart, Phillips, all out. I think Taylor, look at, as I said, Taylor has been overplayed this season, and he's against his former team. He should have had his game up, and he was atrocious. But he tried to clear the ball and went straight to one of their players, Mikey Johnston. I've been rating him up. I'm trying to hopefully see a future out of Mikey Johnson. My God, he done nothing today. Absolutely zilch. Couple of free kicks he won. Did we score for them? No, doesn't matter. It's the results business, folks. Taylor is weak. He is a target, and they'll see that. They'll see that from today. Because where was he for that second goal? Scales was trying to do the chasing from. Then McGregor was trying to chase back, and then that Kilmarnock player just cut through the both of them and scored. Shocking. How's it going, Andrew? Hope you're well. Hope you're keeping well. It's all season, mate. Style is rotten. You've been calling it, and you've been calling it, and you're correct, man. You're absolutely correct. Alistair Johnston, I felt sorry for him today. You know, he did try. He did try, but he was weak as well at points in the game. Just be honest. Look, it's a team collective. When the heads are down, all the heads are down. It's up to the likes of Callum McGregor. It's up to the manager. It's up to John Kennedy. It's up to the board to address these issues and say, right, we need to stay. We need to change the formation. We need to go back to the drawing board. We got beaten by Kilmarnock, but it's not just a loss to Kilmarnock. We're getting a lot of ball at Celtic Park, and we're not being clinical. Like, as I said, how can you draw draw nil all to these teams and then go out and beat the likes of Hibs and Hearts like 4 and 6-0 or 6-1 or 4-1, whatever. You know what I'm trying to say? It is worrying times. Get rid of Nat Phillips. Go and set a GoFundMe page in Atlee and send him right back down to Merseyside, because I'll be honest, I had a lot of high hopes for Nat Phillips when we were linked to him and he came in. I was like, he's going to stir the ship. Pretty good bit experience, Premier League experience, and my God, am I eating my words? I feel like I boasted up like the ways I've done with Shane Duffy, and I came to an absolute disaster. I agree with you. Phillips should be nowhere near Celtic, and Joe Hart is finished. Correct. Micah Johnson, push, and we need a first choice left back because Taylor's woeful and Jamesy isn't interested. Jamesy is done. Jamesy has one good clinical game in about 12 games. He's done. He's a legend. 22 honours, whatever it was, over 103 goals, over 470 appearances. Bravo, legend. But time to move Jamesy on. Build for the future. Build for the future. And there needs to be a massive shake-up. The club are still paying James McCarthy around 25 grand a week. And where is he? Where is he? This is mediocre stuff, folks. Mediocre stuff. Can we win the league? 100% can we win the league. It's in our hands. We just need to get our books in order, our head in the game, change the style of football, and invest. So if that starts with getting Murowski in from Aberdeen, or Kavista Garden from Bromby, or Mubanga from Glint, let's bring 2 strikers in, because at the moment we don't have enough depth. We don't have enough firepower up front. We can win the league if we get our head together, come back. As I said, we have Hearts coming up at Celtic Park. They'll fancy their chances. Stephen A. Smith and that team will fancy their chances, even though we might raise our game. You know, we're very unpredictable, folks. That's the biggest problem here. I don't think there's any Celtic fan that could turn around and say our football's been brilliant this season. It's been laughable. You know, as I said, go on and win a high against Hibs or Aberdeen, and the next week, I get losing to Kilmarnock and the Pistons are rain. Kilmarnock are 6th in the table, fair enough, but you know, we're our wage bill, our stature players are well beyond, and they've literally. Hate saying this term, but I'm gonna put this term out, folks. It was men versus boys in that second half. Celtic could not string a pass. Matt O'Reilly thought he was Johan Cruyff at one point. He scored a nice goal, but tap in. Doesn't matter anyway. Heads are down. It's going to be the same, Keith. It's effing Rogers got to wake up. I don't know what's the difference. I don't know if it's Rogers is just back for the payroll because did he come back into management too quick after being sacked by Leicester, or is it a case that he really, really does care? Because if he really, really does care, he wouldn't be it wouldn't be having these replica dropping points of St. Johnson, Motherwell, you know, Kilmarnock in the League Cup, getting smashed in Europe. The alarm bells are there, folks. So anyone that thinks we're going to steamroll this league after Christmas, wake up. We have an Asian Cup. Rio will probably go to the Asian Cup. Kyogo does not deserve to be near that Japanese squad at the moment. He's not cutting for Celtic. Never mind he'll be able to do it for Japan. Japan are on the up as a national team. And Kyogo should not even be near a part of that. Maeda is going to be picked because Maeda is a workhorse for Japan. And he scores for Japan. Rio will more likely be picked. They have a solid midfield, but I'm just telling you there, if we don't address this in January, and any Celtic fan that is literally has the green tints on and think that we're going to win this league comfortably, definitely not. I predicted that at the start of the season, 12 points. You'd be lucky to win it by 2 points. Some people have had said it to me at the start of the season, and I did laugh at them. And you know what? I might be eating my words. This might go down to the final day as well. We'll see. We barely score from a corner or a free kick. We seem to have con ed from these at times. Definitely do. Definitely don't score from these set pieces. We're not clinical the way. Like I know it felt like that in the first season with Andrew. We weren't scoring from set pieces and corners, and then they addressed it. And look at Starfelt, got a few goals last season, but that's the past. We had got to look at what's the current, and we're not. Our defenders are not pushing the way they usually do. We'll all throw them in the box and they all can dangle their arms and wanting the ball, but they're not. They're not clinical. Simple as that. 62 people watching, folks. I'll be on for another 5 to 10 minutes. Do subscribe, free of charge. They're right. Back in the title race, and things need to change quick, or Brendan will be out in summer. Correct. Things do need to change. It's a result business. You know, like we're out of Europe. You know, one game left. Feel like it's gonna feel like a friendly in my eyes because at the end of the day, nothing to play for. What a Champions League victory, bit of prize money, and that's it. You know, I don't even want to talk about Wednesday, folks. I'm really disappointed with today. Like all emotions, disappointed, furious. Same time, not surprised because it's happened already to us this season. Nat Phillips gives Shane Duffy vibes, rotten player. Um, they're going to close the gap 100%. They have a game in hand as well against St. Johnstone. Here's our 2 points behind us. They do have a game in hand. Well, look at. I don't want to feel like I'm panicking. I'm not panicking. I just feel like we need to address the issues before officially panic does happen. And when I mean panic happens, panic is when if they beat us and they go ahead of us, that's when panic happens. I still feel it's all in our hands. They have a game in hand. It's all in their hands to just address the issues. Sit down, clear the deadwood out, send whatever on loan. Sort out David Turnbull's contract. Either a staying or he's going. If he's either staying or going, stays, give him a proof deal, give him a bit more football. If he's going, cheerio, David. Thanks for the last 3 years. All the best. Go to Motherwell, go to Aberdeen, go to the English Championship. Once they're out the door, we move on. Move on. You know, I don't want people coming on this channel and start talking about Jota again. Jota is gone. Who cares about Jota? This season looks like Lenny's failed 10 in a row season. Feels like that at times, to be honest with you. Johnny will tell the tale. We need to turn this around now before it gets really too late. And I'd like to know how you're keeping, Keith. I'm doing all right. I appreciate the support, folks. As I said, do subscribe. I know. That's the saying. Like having these honors and having this reputation doesn't mean sauce on the day. If a team comes out and says, "Well, we have a chance against them," regardless if it's Celtic, Rangers, whoever, and they fancy their chances and they dictate the game the second half they done, fair play to Kilmarnock, deserve it. Deserve it. As much as I hate saying that word, I hate congratulating an opposition team on beating their team. It's not down to bitterness, it's just down to feeling cold feelings towards what's happening at the club because it's been very, very lackadaisy from the board. And I know a lot of people are pointing the fingers at Peter Lawwell and they're pointing at Desmond and they're pointing at the AGM and everything, and they just feel like we're not moving forward as a team. Maybe moving forward, improving training facilities, doing up the Barrafield and Lennoxtown and opening bars at Celtic Park and stuff. But let's be honest, the main asset is the team. That's the main asset. And players will get fed up. And it'll be very, regardless long term deals, if a move comes in for players and they want to move on, they'll move on, have the right money. And that's what Celtic are renowned for. If they want to sell, they don't care. They don't really care. Just once they make money on it. That's the thing. It's the marketing tool itself, folks. We can say we won the European Cup. We have a 60,000 seater stadium. We're still top of the league. We're guaranteed to give you some European football next season. We'll give you maybe a salary of 25 grand. Celtic are going in and giving these players 2 or 3 million transfer fees and 15 to 20 million salary. It's not attractive as it used to be. Scottish football is not attractive when you used to have the likes of Chris Sutton coming up and the players like that, because you just look at England and you look what a team that gets relegated from the English Premier League in England gets a parachute package of 90 million quid. 90 million quid. We win the league, we get 3 million quid, excluding the Champions League qualification prize money. Just in the prize money in Scottish football is 3 million. My God, folks. My God, look at the difference. It disgusts me. It really does. You know, Kyogo and I don't think Kyogo will go, to be honest with you, Dougie. I really don't believe he'll go. Rogers Football is yeared out. I was only thinking that yesterday because I think he's been sussed out by certain teams, and I think they all have the same agenda. Hit the flanks, hit the left back and right back. Set pieces. Celtic can't defend a set piece. Put it on the keeper. Clam it up. There's just literally congest that goal line, and Hart will struggle. We're just disastrous, folks. It really is disastrous. It's laughable because it just keeps happening and happening, and the club are not addressing the problems. Same malarkey all the time. We're missing CCV anyway, big time. He really is a rock at the back. I'm not sure what it is with us, or is it just a change, or Rogers. Phillips, look at Phillips needs to go. We've all made it. Stephen, nice to see you again. How about this? I think give Home a bit of time. Oh, needs a bit of time. Lagerbielke, we haven't seen much of him, for God's sake. Give him a bit of time. I'm going to stick up for Lagerbielke. Ralston, he does a job, but obviously he's not going to improve any other level. He's just at the same level. I think his best improvement, obviously, when Ant came in, he got to a certain level. I don't think he's going to go any further. That's what I always say about Taylor. I think Taylor is actually declining, to be honest, which is not just by the performance today, just in general. He just can't cut it in Europe. He just struggles in Europe, folks. If he cared, he would play the strengths of the players. But that's the thing. I don't think he knows what his best 11 is, regardless he's been in since June or July, dealing with that squad. I don't think he knows. I don't think we all know what our best 11 is at this rate, because there's so many changes, injuries. My best 11 when players are fit would be Hart and goal. As much as people are angry at Hart and goal. We don't have a good left back, but I would actually play Liam Scales left back. I would play Carter Vickers centre back. Naroski when he's fit. Alistair Johnston, Iwate, Callum McGregor, O'Reilly, Abada on the right, Maeda on the left. And when Kyogo is full of confidence, Kyogo front. At this moment of time, I'd probably just go for a Spanish midfield, play the 5 midfield, because we don't have a striker. The strikers are lacking goals. I know O's got a few goals in recent times, but it just feels like, what's going to happen? What is going to happen? So, yeah, can't keep up with these comments, folks. Absolutely embarrassing second half. I completely agree with you. I see this one here from John. Bullied 100%. A lot of deadwood needs to be removed. A lot of them don't even deserve to wear the jersey, for God's sake. Lanky saying the same thing. How's it going, Jamie? I was watching your TikTok live. You need to get off that TikTok and move on to an app like this. That's where your intelligence could be used in an app like this. Struggle to come to terms with the fact that we have turned this into a title race. It always felt like a title race, folks. At one point we could have been 12 points clear. They had games in hand and then they lost games and just shooting ourselves in the foot. Not good enough. Not good enough. A lot of them don't deserve to wear the Celtic shirt. And that's to be honest. All season, I'm just like you're saying to yourself, the talk of improvement this season by players is Scales and O'Reilly. We're not talking about much about Kyogo like the way we were the last 2 years. We're not boosting our keeper up. We're actually wanting our keeper out. And I don't want to sound sour. I know some of us can't take a loss, and I can understand that. But you from these draws, as I said, I will repeat when I say this, from the draws to St. Johnston and the draws to Motherwell, they feel like losses. And I've seen the manager talking about in the past, you'll have the media at you, you'll have the fans at you, and that's the whole point of these podcasts because we're here to voice our opinion. We're here to say, this is what's going wrong. This is what's going wrong. And I feel like Brendan Rodgers, out straight, which is, I don't know if you all feel the same theory. I feel like he took this job to get back in and he didn't think about it too much into depth. I just felt like the cash was thrown at him saying, you're going to be paid this a year, you're going to be paid 3 million or whatever it is, 3 million a year. We're going to give you this and go. I think he's being missold, and I think he's afraid to speak up and say, right, this is what I need, because I feel like this is an absolute shit show. This is embarrassing. I'm getting guys that are coming in from the K League that can't even cross the ball. Like Chris Sutton today was like, I hope he has his boots on the right feet. Talking about Yang. He's right. He's right. Some of these players don't realise what they're playing for, what club they're playing for. They just think, oh, it's like they don't realise how passionate the fans are, how big this is to fans. This is like fans will now think about this for the whole week, stuck in their heads. They're going to work now, dealing with this, you know, sitting at home dealing with a defeat to Killy. It's it's not a way. It's not about the result. It's about the actual reaction of the players when that second goal went in. When that stoppage time went on, did it feel in the back of my head we'd get back into the game? Not a chance. You know, not a chance. So as I said, do subscribe. It'd be really appreciated. The subscribers have been drying up the last few months. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if he's a jump ship or not. But I hope he's not on the wrong ship as well, because this is the right ship. This is where the banter's at. Duck over Johnson. Duck is a good player. I know a lot of people don't rate Duck for Aberdeen. I think he's an alright player. Duke. Moravsky over. Oh, he scored yesterday, didn't he, against Hearts? I didn't see the goal. Um, let's go through the comments. Plunge, great to see you again. Turned it off as soon as the whistle went. Didn't know. I just knocked it off as well, to be honest. I'm raging. I'm not gonna lie. I'm raging. I feel like that Bolly Kilmarnock fan. Do you ever see him on social media screen go? "Brrr?" That's how I feel. I feel like him. I feel like him. He's got a bit of revenge over us. Oh, I know. It could have been all wrapped up by Christmas, but well, that's what happens when you get laxy days and get complacent and think you're gonna steamroll these teams. You get a taste of your own medicine and you get beaten. So hopefully, it's a wake up call. And I know I don't think it will be a wake up call. Like I think, as I said, the only time when panic stations would happen if they beat us on the 30th of January. If we draw, even if it's a draw, that's a disaster. They're gonna have no fans in the stadium. They're gonna fancy their chances. I know it won't be penalty Rangers, but they'll fancy their chances, folks. We are atrocious at set pieces. They've taller players. They're gonna take the game to us. And that's just being honest. That's not me panicking. That's just me being honest, using my football brain here. At this moment in time, the Celtic team are very hot and cold that any team could beat us on their day when they go to their strengths. And I know you don't like hearing that, but it's the God honest truth. We should have played Turnbull on, Turnbull should have came on for McGregor. But I just think it's just down to the lack of experience around the team. He kept McGregor on. I mean, the lack of urgency from players. Like there's not that team does not have leaders, folks. There's no leaders in that team. Joe Hart has a bit of leadership skills. Carter Vickers was lost today, obviously being rested or slash injured, whatever he is. And there's that boys. Them the mentality is boys showboats. Not a lot of them. You look at squads of like literally, you look at squads of even 2012. You had leaders like Mulgrew, Ledley, Brown, Fraser Foster, Dan Mastorovic. You had leaders there. As much as people gave abuse, Samaras was a leader because you could wear the captain's armband and win us games. You know, Chris Commons. They were leaders, folks. They were leaders, and that's what Celtic. You know, Virgil van Dijk was even a leader even before he even moved on to Southampton. This is what we're missing, folks. Kaya was a leader as well. You know, Football's changing, and these players are coming through. Are just still looking down on you, John. Still looking down, John. Mind the gap. It's only 5 points, but you don't be talking too quick, John, because who pumped you at Ibrox? So without your without Celtic fans there, so you go back in your box. So-called players. Yeah, I know. That's it. They take Scottish football for granted, don't they? That's it. That's it. That's it. 2 points soon. Then get out of yourself, would you? Come back to me. Come back to me when you actually. What's that? 76 penalties. 76 penalties awarded to Rangers since 2016. And Celtic played more games by winning more cups. And Celtic have been awarded 61 penalties. That just says it in itself, folks. Leave him to it. Not getting enough attention from somewhere else. So, hell, what's up? Good man. So, right, folks, I'm gonna leave it there. Strong 84 people popping on. Good reaction from you. A lot are at getting you a point off. Hope he's a little bit of vent off the system. As I said, just to recap, I'm feeling the same mostly than you are. Strengthen in January, address the problems now, clear the deadwood out. I won't put Phillips near that team. Out straight, which is nowhere near that team. I'll bring Naroski back in, start him on Wednesday night, give him a bit of experience. Who cares about Wednesday night, about the result? It does not matter. It does not matter. At the end of the day, at least we have a point. That team that's common there, John's team, they were voted the worst Champions League team in history. So it doesn't matter. At least we have a point. So it's not the end of the world. Um, let's move on from this. Let's move on from this. People are saying bring the Green Brigade. The Green Brigade are there for the away games. You see them behind the goal. Good thing for thank God thank God. And I'm one of these people that was thinking, oh, this could be a permanent if he does a job at Celtic. This could be something we're looking for. My God, sometimes I don't really think outside the box, don't I? Know? Or we just get surprised, don't we? Oh, he's not in the squad with the champions. I keep forgetting that. Well, you're playing Larga Bielka then at this rate, or you play a Wata centre back or something. I'd really be honest with you. At this moment of time, Aiden, I'm not even thinking about Wednesday. I don't even want to think. I just want to think about next week playing Hearts. That's the sole concentration. The bread and butter is the league, and clearly Brendan Rodgers and his tactics and the board are too laxy daisy when it comes to this league this season. So we'll leave it there, folks. Do subscribe. Do join the membership if you can. 99 pence. If you can break the bank and don't be a Dermot Desmond or Pete Lawwell, break the bank and support me if you can. It'd be really appreciate. If you can't, after Christmas, keep the funds for Christmas. More important things. Appreciate you all watching. Do subscribe. I'll be back during the week to have more of an event. Speak to you all soon. Take care. God bless.